Good morning, everyone. Welcome to morning meeting. Today we are joined by Ophelia, our Virginia Opossum. So I'm going to flip the camera around so you guys can see her, because I know you want to see her more than you want to see me. But as always, let me know where you guys are tuning in from today. If you guys have any questions, I'd certainly love to answer them. Today, Ophelia has a popsicle this morning. She just woke up. So a popsicle in her morning coffee. Hello. It's not going to be too hot today, but it's a fun little treat for her to munch on. Right, Ophelia? Those sharp little teeth. What are you trying to do? Oh, did you get a piece out? So Ophelia is a Virginia opossum. They are scavengers in our food chain. So she's kind of like the janitor. She's the cleanup crew. So she's not very picky. She'll eat pretty much anything. Dead, alive, fruit, veggie, egg, dog food, cat food. That's why we see these guys in our trash a lot. Because they will eat just about anything. When she opens her mouth again, you might be able to see. She's these tiny little sharp little teeth. They have the most teeth of any mammal here in North America. So they have 50 tiny little teeth, but they're not for scaring me or biting me. So that she's going to use those 50 tiny little teeth to crunch up her food. Right now she's kind of licking and using her teeth and paws to get some of those treats out of that popsicle. Alright. So those of you guys that have heard of playing a possum, the term, kind of like playing dead, except it's not too much play for them. So what happens is when they get scared, they'll show all those little teeth and hiss, and if that doesn't tell the predator to leave them alone, they will actually pass out, essentially. They lose all bodily function and emit a really gross smelling ooze from their bums. To smell like something rotting and gross, and with that hope that the predator will leave them alone. So she's not using those tiny little teeth to hurt me or anything. She just wants to crunch her food up. Right? Oh, look at those little paws. Good morning, Kim and Jacqueline. Yeah, Jacqueline, popsicles are one of our enrichment treats for our ambassadors. So Ophelia really likes them. Skeeter and Henry, our porcupine and gray squirrel ambassador, really like them. Bertram, our raven, really likes them. So it's a nice little treat for when it's a little warm out. So it's not too bad right now, but I just woke Ophelia up this morning for her treats. So Ophelia really likes them, because even though she is a Virginia opossum, Virginia used to be the most northern part of their range. And so you can see she has no fur on her ears, or her nose, or her tiny little paws, or her rat-like tail. So she's not well adapted to live here in Maine, even though they are now very, very common. Right? But she's still not a huge fan of the heat. When it's a hot day, she spends most of her day sleeping or laying on her marble slab, or she gets super spoiled and comes inside in the AC, because she's getting up there. She's about 2.5 now, so we worry about her, because you're very spoiled. Good morning, Katie. Good morning, Jen. Good morning, Chuck from Rhode Island. Good morning, Naomi from Rhode Island. Welcome, everyone. Ophi. Sorry, did I spook you? Yeah, when she's finally awake enough, she definitely enjoys her popsicles, keeps her nice and cool. Hers, because she's a scavenger, she really does like hers with a diluted fish juice is the base. So then I'll put some dog food, cat food, some grapes, one of her favorite fruits. So some of the stuff that she would normally get in her platter tonight for her dinner, she does only get one meal a day. She is nocturnal, so she does get her normal food at night. But of course, when she's working, like this morning, she does get some extra treats. I do try to put some veggies in there. Ophelia in her normal platters, we have to sometimes douse her veggies and fish juice to make them gross enough for her liking. For those of you that have younger children that don't want to eat their veggies, that's exactly like Ophelia and Henry, actually. So Ophelia, we make them nice and gross for her so that she will eat her veggies. You're so cute. Chocolate possums are beneficial to the environment, right? So these guys are nocturnal. They're walking around the forest floor at night. And they're actually marsupials, so they're related to kangaroos and koalas. She won't let me show you, but I promise she has a tiny little pouch under her belly. And because she is a marsupial, her biology is different than ours, so her body temperature is a lot lower. So she's walking around the forest floor at night. She can get several thousand ticks on her in the wild. And they actually are better groomers than most house cats. So when she's done eating, you'll see her sometimes lick her paws and groom herself. So she'll eat all those ticks that she gets on her, and she can't carry Lyme, and a lot of a million diseases that we can get from ticks, and so she eats those ticks, and then they're out of the environment. And when you're talking about one opossum eating up to almost 5,000 ticks at least, in a single summer, that's a lot of ticks that are no longer in the environment and no longer can harm ourselves. So even though we do see them in our trash and stuff like that, they seem dirty. They're actually really clean and really, really good for our own health. Helping keep us healthy as well. Good morning, Ryan. You're so into that. You can see there's a little chunk of fish on the top. She's trying to use her little teeth and paws to kind of get a hold of it. You're digging this today. Like, it's not too hot, so this is okay with me today. So because they're marsupials, they have that little pouch. So they actually will have many, many babies. That's kind of how they originally got here about 20, 30 years ago. So Virginia used to be the most northern part of their entire range. But of course humans have created a lot of trash, creating a lot of food for these guys, and so they followed our highway system, like a lot of our scavengers, to now their present day range of being up here in Maine, and even farther north as well. So she could originally have up to 20 little bumblebee-sized helpless babies, but they are completely helpless, so they will crawl into mom's pouch. Mom only has 13 nipples, however, and so the first 13 that make it to the pouch are the ones that are going to survive. So they don't suck like we would think, like when we feed baby squirrels. We give them a little nipple and they sip out of it. So the little young, when they're in the pouch, they attach essentially to mom. So when we get them in our as patients, we do have to tube feed them, just because they're not gonna suck on a nipple like our squirrels or other mammals might. What do you think, Goldie? She is so super cute, Ryan. I'm glad you love her as much as we all do. Chuck, because they're low body heat, they're not affected by rabies. Yes, exactly. So they do very rarely get them. Lyme, rabies, a lot of tick-borne diseases, just because their body temperature is so low. You're correct. It's great for us. She is a cutie, Naomi. And she is very amazing. You're right, Chuck. They're very misunderstood. Because we see her coffee. You gotta lick it up. Nope. She has a cup of fish juice for her morning coffee this morning. Yeah, they do get a very misunderstood reputation, because we see them in our trash, and we see them in places that seem gross and stuff like that. But they are really, really clean. And super cute. Oh, good morning, Katie. And good morning, Mandy. Yeah, she is pretty soft, Mandy. She just has fur just like our cats, dogs. It does kind of feel like a dog fur, a longer dog fur. Not that she enjoys being touched, so we do only touch her when we really have to for like medical exams and stuff. She will sometimes check her tail to make sure her tail's healthy. Other than that, she doesn't really enjoy being touched and stuff like that. Good morning, Teresa. Yes, fish juice coffee, Katie. There's actually a fly that died in there. Right, Ophi? You're so cute. So when she turns around, you can see the white in her eye. Oh, your poor little feet are red. Because you're playing with your icicle. So you can see she has some white in her eyes. So Ophelia, unfortunately, was kidnapped out of the wild as a baby. So she does not act like a normal opossum. So she should be hissing, passed out from me. Right. Oh, nice yawn. Oh, now we're gonna groom ourselves over there in the sun. How cute. So Ophelia was kidnapped out of the wild as a baby. So after a couple months, when they grow in the pouch, and they'll crawl onto mom's back and essentially learn how to be an opossum. So that's the stage when she was kidnapped. They're about the size of your palm or so. So they're not very big. But they... Oh my goodness, this is my favorite thing you do, Ophelia. Just watch her all day grooming. Right. So someone had found her as a little baby, and she had fallen off of mom. So then they brought her home, kept her for about a month, and in that time she became imprinted on humans. So that she doesn't really realize she's an opossum, doesn't have any fear of humans anymore, and that's why she is non-releasable and lives with us in sanctuary. You can see with her eyes, all that white. So opossums store fat in their eyes, but even when they are fed the proper diet, we happen to know that she was not fed the proper diet before she was surrendered to us, because the family realized that it wasn't really a good idea to keep an opossum as a pet. They are still wild and they need special care, and that's why we were very grateful she finally was surrendered to us. So that store that fight in their white in their eyes, even with the right diet. So we actually had to be pretty careful with Ophelia's weight, because we don't want her to keep storing fat there. So once they store it there, they actually can't lose it. So if she were to continue on that track record, she would actually go fully cross-eyed, unfortunately. So you do have to be pretty careful. Wild opossums really shouldn't have that white in the wild, just because Ophelia is clearly very well taken care for, so we don't have to worry about her being hungry or anything like that. Of course, a wild opossum would be trying to find food and stuff. Yeah. That is why Ophelia is with us. She's about 2.5 now. Generally, they live 2-3 years in captivity. They're not very long-lived, which is why it's really important in the wild that they do have all those babies. She is beautiful, Laura. Welcome. Hi, Sam. Hey, hi, Ophi. Hey, sniff, 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 sniff. You're so cute. You can see the water over there. So in the summertime, we do offer that. It's essentially like a little train for her. They will go to the bathroom in water. And she'll go to the bathroom in the same spot, actually. So if she was going to the bathroom outside of that little corner over there, we would know something's probably wrong. She would need a little checkup. You going back to bed? Yes, Chuck, you're correct. They do have a very short lifespan. 2 to 3 years, generally. Even in the best care, unfortunately. Ophi do. Are you ready for bed? Hello? Come here. Your little cat bed. Like, it's nap time, humans. I know. Like, you woke me up. Chuck, no, she didn't finish the ice. I'll probably leave it in here for a little bit in case she decides to wake back up, but then I'll take it out just so it doesn't get gross in here. Imagine as it melts, the fish juice just kind of gets all over. So if she doesn't eat it, try to pull it out as soon as possible. And she didn't even have her coffee. But that I'll leave though. She'll probably enjoy that this afternoon. Wolfie do. Hi, honey. It's my bedtime, humans. Yeah, so she is a bit more nocturnal than, say, Henry. Ophelia is a bit harder to see when you do have the chance to come to the center when we are open again. Just because she is a normal nocturnal animal and sleeps most of the day. So even when we bring her to schools and stuff like that, when we are operating as normal, she will put her in her little carrier, and then she does take a nap until it's her time to go to work, and then she'll go back into her carrier, and at that point she's full. And just like us, when she's full, she gets very sleepy. And so she'll put herself right back to bed. Unlike Henry, who obviously loves to be awake all day and will spend most of his day trying to get anyone that walks by to give him food. So, okay, maybe a cute mug tomorrow, yeah. Chuck, did she hiss at you when you pulled her tail? No, I didn't. I just kind of tapped her. She opened her mouth, but she didn't actually hiss at me. So it is a very, like, when they are angry. Like I said, she doesn't necessarily enjoy being touched so much. Are you scratching? Oh, you're licking your paws. But of course, they always do need, like medical exams and stuff like that, which, just like us, not a huge fan of going to the doctor, so we understand. She is a bit more wild than some of our past opossum ambassadors. For those of you that may have met Wilbur or Opal, our previous ambassadors who did pass away, they were much more, much different than Ophelia. Even though Ophelia was kidnapped as a baby, she does have a little bit of a wild kick to her still, just not enough to survive on her own. You can see she's just grooming herself right now, which normally they wouldn't do in the wake of a predator. So any animal, like when our raptors, when they start preening when they're on the program, that makes us really happy, because that means that they are happy, that they're relaxed, because they're not going to preen and groom when they're stressed out and when they're in the view of a predator. Imagine in the wild, they'd be very alert, trying to keep themselves safe, and so when they do groom in our presence, it's very relaxing for us to see, because it means that they're happy, they're content. Good morning, Thomas and Katie. Welcome. Ophelia. Like, I just want to go to bed, human. Come here. Oh, hi. Do you see that little nose? So she has a very good sense of smell. Like most nocturnal mammals, she doesn't have great eyesight. So she is going to get around through her sense of smell. So a really fun game that we like to play with her at night. So sometimes we'll put her platter in like a little bowl, in a little dish, and let her eat out of that. Or sometimes we take her food and kind of just throw it all around the enclosure, so she has to find it. So I'll put she has a little rag, like one of those little rag feeders for dogs up there that I'll throw like some smaller pieces in. I'll make it so that she has to climb up her log and get some up there. I might throw some inside that log up there. I'll throw some on top of her little cat thing and up on that shelf up there. There's a hole in that log. She sometimes, when it's really hot, she'll actually crawl in and take a nap in, which is super cute to see. So I'll throw her food kind of all over, so she has to smell it to find it. It's a really fun game for her. Yeah. And sometimes she's just like, it's veggies, I don't want to eat that, human. And she'll just leave it. As you can see, I have to still pick up her leftovers from last night. She wasn't about the sweet potato and carrot that she'd been given. She's not a huge fan of her veggies, especially right now during the summertime. Because summertime is when they're not as worried about their own weights. Like in the wintertime, their weight fluctuations are a lot larger, just because they're having to keep themselves warm at night. So they will go through pretty significant fluctuations from morning to night, just trying to keep themselves warm. And so during the wintertime, she's much better about eating her vegetables because there's still calories. Right now, she's like, it's warm out. I don't have to worry about keeping myself warm. I'm fine. I like my fish and my fruit, but not so ready for... Not about eating my veggies if I don't have to. Chuck, yes, many are killed by automobiles. Like I said, they will hiss and pass out when they're scared. So when they pass out, they'll wake up anywhere from 45 minutes to 4 hours later. If the predator didn't eat them, evolutionary is kind of cool. If they get eaten, they're passed out for it. They have no idea. But obviously that defense also doesn't work against cars. So the same thing with our porcupines. They'll show all those quills. Not gonna stop a ton car. So they do get hit pretty often, unfortunately. And so we do get a lot of babies because of that, from moms that have passed away from hit by cars. But a lot of times they also have the trauma because they are in that pouch on mom. And so it's never a happy experience when that happens. But we try to save who we can. Nice yawn, Ophi. You tired? You're so cute. Leave me alone. I'm trying to go to bed. Oh, if we do. Yeah. Such a good groomer. So clean. And so if you guys have any last questions, we're gonna let Ophelia go back to bed because clearly she's made her opinion on the matter noted. So, let me know if you guys have any last questions I can certainly answer. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning. Oh, okay. It's the silent treatment. Okay. Ophi. I'm trying to go to sleep. It's light out. I'm nocturnal. I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to do. Oh, Ophi do. Thank you guys so much for continuing to tune in with us every day. We are really grateful that you guys are still hanging out with us, especially now that some people are going back to school. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys tomorrow at 10. Hey, bye, Ophi. No. Have a great day, everyone.